Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Dean, www.themanmindset.com, and this is the Playbook Part 2. You know, the funny thing that I learned about your mouthpiece and about, how it carries over to text messaging is the story that I always tell y'all about what happened with my mentor, and I was in the closet, and after he was talking all that yak to her and had her clothes off and made her play with herself and made her throw her stuff back on, her clothes back on, and sent her on her way. When he was talking to me about it, one thing he was always telling me is that you've got to learn when to shift up and when to shift down. It's fine for a woman to see the man in you, but she's also got to see other things in you for her to be vulnerable enough to open herself up. Because most women don't open themselves up to guys. And this is just a case in point of shifting down a little bit. Well, knowing when to shift down when you look at these text messages that we go through. So anyway, man, y'all sit back, relax, kick it. And let's go ahead and get into the very first text message. Now, again, guys, if y'all catching up on the second thing, this is helping a client out, but also giving you a playbook of what the thought process was behind everything. Now, but before we even start that, let me tell you that one of the most important things that my mentor always showed me, especially when I was young, was to learn how to write poetry, being able to express yourself in a good way to draw her in, because we want her to make that conscious decision to bring you into her mentally. So we'll start off with not start off with what I told him, but I told him to say a lot of things to her using a little bit of the conversation class one, using a little bit of dirty talk, a little bit of master the bedroom, a little bit of just a little bit of being a little flirtatious and stuff. So let's get to the very first thing. So after I sent him this, now again, kind of going backwards a little bit because I didn't show you these ones right here that kind of got everything started. But after what I told him to tell her, it drew her in, where you see the very, very first message of her reading what I wrote. And what I wrote was real intricate. Remember, it was transparent. It was something that was really impactful. And as you can see right here in this email right here, is that she's saying that she's talking about, I should write a book. You should very much so write one yourself, because of the things that I was saying to her. Remember, the rule in the game is to make sure that you always paint a picture. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that he had the blank canvas, but he expressed himself in a way where it drew her in. Remember, a lot of these women read these books, and a lot of these women know that the words can peel off the page, just like the words in your text messaging can peel off the phone or wherever she's reading and attach themselves to her mental and emotional mindset. So basically that's what you see right here. And this is just a little taste of carrying it over. Now, when you utilize your branch, you always remember, you take what they give you, you put it through your branch, and you kind of return serve off of what she's saying. And as you can see right here, I want to take my hands and tongue and write a book on you. Now, that's some smooth ass shit right there that kind of rolls into what he said before, but it reinforces the point, and it also really intrigues her to hear somebody just be able to carry on, because most women don't hear guys saying that. Now, from that point where we all got this is when we knew it was over, was going into the second one. Now, as you can see, she's saying right now, funny moment, I'm at my desk reading your messages, and my homegirls look over at me wondering what's gotten my attention. She said, "What are you doing?" That's what we always want to do. Remember, we want to move from curiosity to attention, and that's the important thing. because the only way you're going to get to attraction is going through the doorway or the pathway of attention. You just don't jump from curiosity straight to attraction. You have to get her attention. And once she said that, we can see now that yes, we have her attention. So the question is, what are we going to do next to maintain it and ride that wave? Let's get to the next clip. So the next thing that you see now, as you can see, he laughs at high, but now she's kind of giving more of what's going on in her mind and going on in her world. And as you can see, she says, I'm in my own world. I promise. I didn't know no one was watching me. Now, what is good about that is that I'm not going to show you what I told him to say right there, but this is always going to reinforce and connect. But I'll give you a sample of some of the things he said underneath that. Saying right there, making your beautiful pussy wet, your nipples hard, and your body. Now, understand this. He was talking to her for a week. After my 2 text messages, we shifted the whole. She went from the dirt road onto the street just now. And at this point, I want to get, okay, you know what? I'm not here to ask you how your day was at work. And I'm not here to want to know about, your drive home. What I want to do is I want to keep riding on the fact that you are still intrigued. But you also know that at the end of the day, I'm a man, and I'm going to say things that men say. And as you can see right here, me making your beautiful pussy wet and your nipples hard and your body. Now, again, y'all don't understand what was said above that, but it all connects. Going to the next message. Now, as you can see in the next message, again, we kind of took some stuff out, but at this point, I didn't want to keep playing tennis. What I mean by that is that all you're doing right now is return and serve, and you're going back and forth. But it's a more of a sexual tennis match. So in this point right here, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go ahead and begin to move everything from the text messaging that we were doing, the sexual tennis match that we were having. I wanted him to go ahead and move on to go ahead and set up them seeing each other. So that's when this came up. Again, I've always told you guys, within the first 3 conversations that you have or text with a woman, you always set up the date. But right here, what I'm saying is now, because he is moved beyond certain measures, that I want him to go ahead and set up seeing each other. Because if you just all talk, you got to be able to back this shit up. And that's one thing I've always said. So as you can see right here, he's saying, do you want to see me? I'm not asking for the whole day. I'm just asking for a little bit of your time. And the thing that is very important here is this. See, when you're cool, calm, and collective and you know what you're doing, a little bit of time can stretch out into more when you know the kissing 101, the making out and things like that. Because once she comes to see you and everything lines up, that means the way you talk and text, you can do that face to face. And then reinforcing that with hugs, kisses, making out, dirty talk, master the bedroom, all those things come into play. So when you never ask for a lot of her time, because most women are busy. But once you get a woman in a certain situation, what she will do is give you her time based off of how you make her feel, meaning that she will make time for you. She will adjust for you. She will do what she can to come see you. And as you can see right there, she says, promise, ? And she does say, because after the shit that was said prior to that, it was, LOL, can I see you? I can see you. Letting him know, yes, I can give you a little bit of my time. And that's what we want. We want a little bit of the time, because if we get a little bit of her time, we can always stretch that out. So moving on to the next message here in the conversation, then it's a shift up. Would you rather me lie? Now, this is something I always tell you guys. See, women are so used to guys lying to them And the one thing that I always love to do is I love to give women an ultimatum or a choice that they have. And the choices that they usually have is this. Do you want to lie or do you want the truth? Now, 9 times out of 10, absolutely, I really want to give her the truth. I'm not going to lie to her, but I know that's going to bottleneck her and force her hand to say, yes, I want the truth. Now, and as you can see, would you rather me lie or play games or be honest with you? It's your choice. Now, remember, I'm giving her the choice. Now, this is more level 2 thing that we're talking about, the chessboard. This is a chessboard move that is more level 2. But what happens with that question and the stuff that was discussed before that, then all of a sudden, this is her reply, as you can see. Because even if I let a piece of you get inside of me or feel me, I know I'll be far gone. It's just too dangerous. I want the truth. Now, understand this right here, and let me explain where that is coming from and why she is saying what she is saying. Remember, see, when you know what you're doing in the bedroom, you know how to talk, you know how to approach. Remember, I've always said everything has to be a flow in the same direction. The way you talk, the way you text, the way you approach, the way you are on voicemail, the way you are on video, the way when you see it, it all has to be in a single way, one way. Has to be one way. Now, after all the stuff that I took out that you can't see and stuff, even before that, all the things that I was telling him to say was intriguing her, because when you can remember that I told you the rule is, and this is going back to my mentor telling me, you see, you don't have to buy your way into the pussy. You don't have to bend over backwards and lose who you are for the pussy. All you have to do is be able to present yourself that's different than the normal guy, because that is the thing that is going to intrigue her. And that is the thing that's going to want her to know more about you, because most guys cannot do the things that you see right here. But as you can see right here, she is telling him that, you know what, he's already got her. Because she says it right here, if I even let a piece of you get inside of me or feel me, okay? That right there is saying if we fuck or if we make out, she knows she's going to be far gone, because she's already been gone through the beginning of this whole process. And that's why I always tell you, we're going to fuck before we even fuck. And that's the thing that I want you guys to see here. This is the thing that you should be able to, when you are talking to a woman, and this is what we're talking about when you go, when you approach her, and I tell you, go ahead and ask her on a date. But just because you set up a date doesn't mean you're going to go on the date, because when you're using the texting toolkit, when you're using the text messages stuff from the Manhood You, when you're using the conversation courses and putting all this stuff together, what happens is you begin to marinate the mindset inside her head. So once you are able to marinate that, then all of a sudden she doesn't care about going out on a date. She knows that she is going to lose who she is when she gets around you. And that is the thing we want to happen right there. Okay. So let's move on to the next part. Here's the next thing, talking a little bit of yak. And as you can see, I'm not going to bullshit with you and tell you, isn't going to BS with you and tell you what's on their mind. Don't worry about that. That's just something, I can't tell you all that stuff at the top. But let's read what she is saying here. I really enjoyed it. I really did. Just from a conversation, I can tell you, you know what you are doing. And you know what you're doing and how to please a woman. This is what I tell you guys all the time. You see, there are two very important phases that you have to go through. And I learned this from my mentor when it comes to a woman. She's got to be able to kick the tires, number one. And when you approach her the way we show you how to approach these women and talk to her and things like that, what happens is within the first few, like I always tell you, if a woman does not recognize whore, slut, player, a ladies' man, or one of those guys within the first few things that come out of her mouth, then she's going to realize you got to work for it. But it is not just that. She can see that in the beginning, but you know what? There's got to be proof, because a lot of guys pretend to be men, and then when they get to texting and things like that, they go right back into their shell. But as you can see right here, she's acknowledging all the stuff that I'm saying, of course, that she says in her mind, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. Based off of the conversation, the texting that is going on, the sexual tennis match that's going on, she automatically says right there is that, hey, man, just based off of that she knows that you know how to please a woman. And if you know how to please a woman, then she wants to be pleased. She wants to know how you're going to do it, because the whole time while you are having the conversation, you are still painting a picture that most women, the majority of women, do not get from the regular guy. The regular guy is talking about shit that has nothing to do with anything. If you want to be like guys like us to get the woman, again, she's got a man already. You know what I mean? Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. It's not my business. I'm just helping my clients. But what I'm telling you is this, is that women love mental pleasure. And when they don't get it, they always are seeking it. And all I did was take some water and pour it on that seed, or dust it off and pour water on it. And now her mind is beginning to open, because she, like you're saying, she's enjoying the conversation. But the most important thing is that she knows that, well, through me, of course, but she sees him as the guy that knows how to please women. Now she can see the whole big picture, and that's what we want them to see. And this is why I keep telling you guys, just because I set the date up, that's going to be on Saturday, doesn't mean Tuesday to Friday I'm just going to sit around and be like, y'all motherfuckers. Fuck no. I'm going to make sure that I talk enough yak in her motherfucking ear to where she wants to break her own rules and want to spend time with me. Now, let's get to the last part of the playbook right here. Now, here we go. Now, through the conversation, through a little bit of the text messaging, a little bit of the dirty talk, it all comes to this point right here. And all you can see right now is, this is what we call the what is the word I'm looking for? I'm just doing this unscripted, so it's a brain fart in my head. But the conscious decision. I'm sorry. You see, guys, I always tell you, I used to watch a show called True Blood. And True Blood it was about vampires in Louisiana, I think, or Shreveport, I think, somewhere in there. The rule of the game with a vampire, and even my mentor taught me this a long time ago, in order for a vampire to enter the house or a home, he must be invited in. And right now, this is what we call a woman being open. When she's open, she is inviting you in, because now she's going to start to tell you things that she normally doesn't tell the regular guy. And as you can see right here, she's talking about her girl is sensitive. Now, I don't want to get into how we got into that. I can't give all that out. I'm just trying to give y'all the playbook or play-by-play of how your boy's doing all this and how the thought process behind this. So what she's saying here, my girl's sensitive. She gets wet easy. You're tripping now because she's throbbing right now. And like I said, tell him, I know she is. Why? Because when you get with a motherfucker like me, she's going to throb. When you get with a motherfucker like me, she's going to be wet. But the beautiful thing is that this information is something that I didn't force out of her. This is something that she divulged to me on her own because she was sexual safe. That's very important. You got to make sure when you are doing all this stuff, especially if you're doing it correctly, is you want to make her feel like, you know what, I'm not going to judge you for whatever you say. Now, remember, he was working on her for a whole week. This happened just after the 2 text messages that we did, and then the floodgates opened up. But I wanted to just take a moment to go back and break everything down to you and let you see how everything works itself out, because that's what it does. It works itself out at the end of the day. And when you know what you're doing, especially when you have that power of the texting toolkit. You have the power of the types of women. You have the power of the conversation classes. You have the power of master the bedroom. You know about the kissing 101, the making out, the five play, the fucking 101, all the things you need from your lover. And through the conversation course, you know the different selves. You know the different ways to talk to women. So through these things, what happens is you are able to do the main thing that most guys can't do, and that is paint the canvas and paint the picture. The thing I want to do at the end of the day is I want that blank canvas. Every woman I meet, she's a blank canvas, and it is the picture that I have in my head is the thing that I want to see on that canvas. And what I want to do is I want to paint a picture in her mind that she knows that this guy is sexual. Not only is this guy sexual, but this guy can talk to me in a sexual way. Why? Because the majority of the guys out there laugh at that stuff. See, one thing that you'll learn about being a real man is that you have so many different selves to you. Y'all who have the conversation course know this. But when I tell you guys shifting up from 100 and going down to 10 and being smooth, romantic, and seductive, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Because a lot of guys don't see that. A lot of women out there, they want that kind of thing. They want that guy to be that smooth, romantic guy that does different things. So that's all I wanted to say for that. But yeah, we about to wrap this up, but I just wanted to give you an example of Playbook. We got a few more to go, another Playbook coming up soon, but I just wanted to just take a moment and break that down to you. And again, these are just a few. So there's so much going on right here that I can't even really get into, and I'm not trying to draw this out, but I just wanted to take a moment to show you guys the power that you can have with women when you are doing it correctly. If you're not having conversations like this with a woman within 3 days, 2.5, then you are not doing something right. I'm telling you right now. Because this is how it should be when you know what the fuck you're doing. These are the kind of messages you should have. The questions you should have is, how many women are you seeing? How many girlfriends do you have? How many side women, all that. Those are the questions you should be asked, okay? So that's just something I want you guys to think about. Anyway, man, y'all come on, fuck with us on Tuesday night. 7 o'clock. Don't forget, we got shows all day long. Miss LaCara and I go on at 11 o'clock East, and then myself and Rosebud at 1 East. And then you have the Man Mindset show at 7 East. So y'all make sure y'all sit back, check that shit out, and ride with your boy, man. Anyway, y'all got any questions, holla at me at the Man Mindset at gmail.com. My Twitter is the Man Mindset. Facebook, the Man Mindset. Facebook.com/the Man Mindset. Send me a friend request. I love to have you on. You get all the updates through Facebook and through Twitter. And y'all be able to check that shit out. I also do have an Instagram. I guess it's the Man Mindset. I'm still trying to get new to that shit. But anyway, man, I just want to let y'all know what's going on. This is the Playbook right here, and this is motherfucking what we do, man. I'm the motherfucking Dean, man. I'll holler at you motherfuckers later, man. Fuck with your boy, man. Peace.